In this video, we are going to discuss about lifecycle hooks in LWC. So lifecycle hook is a callback method which is executed at a specific phase of Lightning Web Component. In Aura, we know how the controller methods will be invoked when the component is created. And also what is the order of execution, order of component creation when it is placed in hierarchy. Also, we know how in our Salesforce platform, how the various features will be executed when the record is created or updated in our typical business flow. So similar to the same approach, in LWC, we have something called lifecycle hooks. So lifecycle hook, as I said, it is a callback method, and we have different callback methods at different phases of Lightning Web Component. Let's try to understand the different callback methods in LWC. So the first one is the constructor and connected callback, rendered callback, disconnected callback, and error callback. For the sake of this demo, I have created a project in Playground and called Lifecycle Hooks. And there are three components: parent, child, and grandchild in a hierarchy. So something like this in the first diagram. And each component is placed in another component. So that means the parent has a child component, and child has a grandchild, and grandchild is just having message. So now if and also I have placed all the lifecycle hook methods in all the JS files just to understand how they will be calculated by having a console.log statement. So it is placed in every component, as I said, just with appended with respect to component name. So let's get into the callback methods. So we have 5 different methods, as I said. The first one is the constructor. So constructor will be called when the component is created, and this is the first lifecycle hook method in LWC. So at this stage, the component properties will not be ready. That means that if we have any public properties or any kind of properties, they will not be completely ready. And we must instantiate the component. We must call super method in the constructor. This is like kind of mandatory, and this basically it establishes a prototype chain for value this. So we are going to use this statement in other callback methods or in other custom our methods handlers. So to have the proper value this constructor the super method is basically establishes the correct chain and basically the template value to this. So that this super method will actually do that. And at this stage, the component is not ready in the DOM. If we do any query selectors in constructor and if we try to access any properties, they will not be available because the component is just created, but it is not inserted to DOM, it is not rendered to DOM. So the constructor will be called if you want to do something that kind of initializations or something. But I feel that we rarely use this because at least me, I haven't used it. Maybe in some rare cases when component dynamically created or so. So that is the first callback method, constructor, and followed by we have connected callback. So this callback will be called, this method will be invoked when the component is inserted to DOM. So at this stage, the component is inserted to DOM and also all the public properties such as any API properties. For example, if we place the component is in some record ID or such kind of public properties, those properties will be evaluated before connected callback and after constructor, and they will be ready to access in connected callback. But again, at this stage, the component is still not completely rendered, but it is just inserted to DOM. So that means if we don't see the message on the UI at this stage. So connected callback is basically when the component is inserted to DOM. So, and also it is possible that the connected callback can be executed multiple times. That means if we have any kind of logic which inserts an element to DOM, so that time again the connected callback will be executed. So basically the connected callback will be executed first when the component is created, very fast stage. And after that, if we append any kind of child elements or any kind of elements to DOM, so that time the connected callback will be executed again. Of course, we can ensure that this will not be executed again and again by having some kind of properties, Boolean properties or variable, something like that. But that's one of the point I just want to say. So that's about connected callback. And after that, we have something called rendered callback. Before going to rendered callback, let's try to understand disconnected callback. So disconnected callback is basically the opposite of connected callback. As I said, like connected callback will be invoked when the component is inserted to DOM, and disconnected callback is something like when the component is removed from the DOM. So if we have something like dynamically destroy the component or any kind of such scenarios, so if it is removed from the DOM, this callback method will be executed. So this will be useful if we have any custom event listeners, basically that window methods or something. If we custom, if you don't use inline event handlers, and if you use any event listener methods, JavaScript based methods, then in those cases we use this to disconnect those event handlers. So this is basically when the component is removed from the DOM, this particular callback method will be invoked. So and the next one is rendered callback. Rendered callback is basically it will be invoked when the component is actually completely rendered. So that means the messages or the information that is fetched from server, everything is ready on the component and it is rendered, then this callback method will be invoked. So this is basically similar to connected callback, but only difference is it is inserted to DOM, but it's not rendered here. But here it is like rendered completely, and we are going to write logic after rendering. So that is something here, and we have some special callback method in LWC called error callback. It's basically used if we want to handle any errors from descendant components in a tree. So I will explain in detail at the end of this video. This is basically to handle errors from the child components in the hierarchy. It accepts two parameters, error and stack, and we'll get into details shortly. So these are the 5 different main methods that we have in our life cycle of LWC. And let's see in action. So I have, as I said, like I have 3 components, and every component I have placed console.log in each callback method, and also just specified the component name. So let's try to run and see what happens in the console and which statements will be executed first. So if you see here, the first one is constructor and connected callback. These 2 lines are executed, constructor and connected callback. And after that, it went to constructor child. So that is the child component, constructor and connected callback. These 2 are executed. And after that, connected callback grandchild component is executed. So that means that when the components are placed in hierarchy in this way, in LWC, the execution or the creation happens from top to bottom, that is parent, child, and grandchild. It's basically bit reverse in Aura. In Aura, it is reverse, so from bottom to top, but here it is top to bottom. So that is something different that I can say. And if we also see, like once the grandchild connector callback is executed, it actually started executing rendered callback from bottom to top. So from first grandchild rendered callback, and then child rendered callback, and then parent rendered callback. It's basically the reverse. So when it comes to constructor and connected callback, the execution will happen from top to bottom, but rendered callback is basically child to parent, that is bottom to top. So that's a cool thing. This will be useful when we actually start working with the multiple components in hierarchy. Uh, let's see in the diagram how it looks. So this is an image from the documentation. You can see the image URL, and So now the component is inserted. If the component is inserted, that's a green circle. And first is constructor call and parent that we just saw. And after that, public properties, if there are any pending to be updated, that will be calculated and executed at this stage. That's basically after constructor and before connected callback. And for example, if the component is placed if you want to fetch record ID when it is placed in record page, so such kind of public properties will be updated at this stage. And after that, the parent component is inserted to DOM, and then the connected callback on parent will be executed. So I think that we just saw, and if we see here, the first one is constructor and then connected callback. At this stage, we are basically the component is inserted to DOM. And after that, the parent is rendered, but our rendered callback will not be executed at this stage, but instead the child component will start getting created. So child constructor will be called almost the same flow how it was for parent. Child constructor, child connected callback. Similarly, if there are any public properties, they will be available. And then child is rendered, and the rendered callback on child will be executed first, and then the parent. So this is basically an example of parent and child, but in our example, we have one more hierarchy, one more component in hierarchy. So that is basically child and grandchild. So that's how it works when they are placed in hierarchy, and that is like when they are placed in this kind of hierarchy. So let's take another example. If the component, if the child and grandchild, let's assume that they are kind of placed in sibling style. So, and only one parent is executed. Let's try to understand how they will be calculated. I will just remove grandchild from child, and I'll keep it on grandchild in parent component. So now we have two components in parent component itself, and we have the content is also executed. Let's try to run. So if you see here, first constructor is called, next connector callback, and then constructor on child component is executed first, and then connected callback is executed, and then it didn't wait for grandchild creation. It immediately rendered because it doesn't have any child. Because if it has any child, then that execution will start before the render callback of this component. So as it doesn't have any childs, the rendered callback is executed immediately. And then the connector call, again, constructor connector callback on grandchild, rendered on grandchild, and then rendered callback on parent. So this is how it works when they are placed as kind of siblings and with under parent component. Um, so that's how it works when the components are placed in different hierarchy. Uh, that's about different phases of life cycle methods. Let's try to understand rendered callback in detail. We know how connected callback is working. So it's basically when the component is inserted to DOM, and rendered callback is something will be executed when the component is fully rendered on DOM. And also, we should be very careful, as I said, in connected callback. It can be executed multiple times in the journey of LWC, but component. But in rendered callback is also that it will also be executed multiple times when the component is rendered in the journey. So, for the sake of a demo to explain in better way, so I have taken snippet from LWC recipe app. So it's basically a dynamic binding behavior. So let's try to see how it works when I play some logic. So what I'm trying to do is I have an input element, and it is basically wired to a property called greeting, and when there is a change in that input element, and that will be captured and it will set into greeting, and that will be displayed using this property greeting. So very simple example I'm just taking just to demonstrate rendered callback. So if you see here, so I will just remove this default value, and I will execute again. So Now what I will do when I run, all the callback, all the components are executed and respect to callback methods are executed and rendered callback also executed. Now let's try to enter something in this field, in this basically input element. So you see here I am entering my name Brahma, and it is basically call this handle change event handler, and it is taking the value that I entered in the input element and I'm setting to this property, as it is a kind of reactive property, and it's basically rendering the component again. So that you see here, whatever I entered here, that is executed. And that means when it is executed, it's basically rendering the component, that dynamic behavior. So in this case, at this stage, the rendered callback will be called. So you see here 6 times the rendered callback is executed because the 6 times the component is rendered. So what I'm trying to say is rendered callback will be executed every time the component is rendered. So there are more chances that it can execute more than once. So it will not be executed only once when the component is initially rendered, but also it will be executed every change, every render in the life cycle of LWC. So we should be very careful while writing logic inside rendered callback, because there are chances that it can go recursion, it can hit, it can execute different time, multiple times in the journey. So we should be very careful, as I said, like we should be very careful while writing logic inside rendered callback, especially while calling server methods or kind of complex logics. So because there are chances that we can easily get into that infinite loop. So we can also avoid that by having a property, and by setting basically how we generally avoid recursive triggers. Similarly, we can have a property to avoid those kind of recursive nature. So that's about rendered callback. And we have something called error callback. So error callback is actually a bit special to LWC, because all these callback methods, whatever we discussed so far, they are part of typical web component creation. So it's not fully new to Salesforce, maybe a little bit customized in the background, but these methods are part of typical web component lifecycle. So whereas error callback is specific to Lightning Web Components, and it basically it captures the errors from the child components in design entry. For example, if you take this hierarchy, parent, child, and grandchild, if there are any errors from grandchild while creation, those errors will be captured in error callback method in child component. Similarly, if there are any errors in child, it can be captured in parent. So for grandchild, the boundary component is child, and child, it is parent. So all the errors that are occurred in descendant tree, they will be captured in this component. So that is in the parent. So let's try to understand. And basically, it accepts two parameters. One is error, and another one is stack. So error, basically the error message that is occurred from the child components in the tree, and the stack is basically the structure of the component, where exactly it is, and what is that component which actually fired that error. Not fired, basically that error occurred. So, so now I need to produce some error to understand this. So for sake of this demo, what I will do, I will go to constructor or connector callback in child. I will throw some error from child. So something like this. So I'm throwing some error from child component, and we will we'll see what happens when the component is executed. So let's try to run this. And if you see here, the first constructor is executed, connector callback, and child constructor, child connector callback. So basically it came till here fine as expected. And after that, we see that there is an error callback executed on the parent. This is executed. Why? Because we have an error from child. So this is the error that we received from the child. So this is an error that we have thrown. If we have any, this is like custom error that have placed. But if there are any kind of logical errors or any kind of properties illogical errors, then those are will also be captured. And we see here I also placed the stack, and that stack is basically the component structure, parent and child. So and also you see here there is some space to identify which one is parent and which one is child. So this is some of the cool thing. And it didn't stop there. It continued to execute the remaining step. So it's basically we handle that error. So it didn't stop. So if you want to handle such messages, we can have some kind of we can set some properties in error callback, and we can use our directives if else to play around that, so that we can show like what is happening, so that users will not be surprised when they see some features are not properly rendered. So, and the remaining life cycle is still continued, and there is nothing special there. Let's take another example, having multiple components inside a parent component. So in this case, if we receive any errors from one of these components, child1 and child2, so these errors will be appeared in the parent component callback. So in our previous example, we have a boundary component for grandchild as child. So the errors can be handled either in child or parent, because both parent and child can act as a boundary component for grandchild to handle the errors. But in this example, both child1 and child2 has single boundary component, that is parent. If we see any errors in one of these components, so it can only be handled in parent error callback method. And what if we have errors in parent callback? So then we don't have any other boundary components. So those errors will appear on the UI. So the users will see that kind of weird message saying that so on error is appeared and while executing the component. So these are the different life cycle hooks in LWC. So just to recap, constructor will be called when the component is created, and it is mandated to call super, which establishes basically the prototype chain for the value this. And connected callback is basically called when the component is inserted to DOM, and this can be called multiple times in our life cycle or further, because whenever the component or element is inserted to DOM, this will be executed. So we need to handle if we want to avoid that kind of recursive nature, or if you want to skip if there are any further element insertions, invocations. And rendered callback is executed when component is rendered in our basically DOM. And disconnected callback is basically reverse of connected callback, is basically when the component is removed from the DOM, and error callback is to capture all errors from the descendant component tree. So that's it from this video. Thank you.